Hello friends, my name is Group Captain Ashwani Bhaku. I am an ex-Indian Air Force fighter pilot and also a practicing psychotherapist. Over the years, I have been involved with various NGOs dealing with suicide prevention and dealing specifically with the issue of anxiety and dealing with anxiety. Today, when COVID is all around us and people are being laid off from their jobs or sometimes even their salaries are being cut, the level of anxiety is rising. And this is more so because of the uncertainty that is surrounding us. So I thought it is appropriate that we talk about this issue of anxiety and how to deal with this. Today, what I'm going to go through is talk to you about what is anxiety, what are the various types of anxiety, but focus more importantly on how to deal with anxiety. So, what is anxiety? Anxiety is a feeling of tension, of fear, nervousness, apprehension, worry, or panic about something which has an uncertain outcome. We do not have anxiety when the outcome is certain, when we know what is going to happen. But anxiety happens when we don't know the outcome. These feelings come to us, and sometimes there is no justification for these feelings. They just happen. We just feel anxious. It is very, very different from fear. Fear is about something which can be seen. Fear arises in response to actual danger, but anxiety arises in response to even simple situations. And many times it is the product of our internal conflict. Anxiety is used as an umbrella term, and everybody gets anxious at some time or the other. Some anxiety actually helps us to function well, but anxiety can happen and it can become a problem when it happens too often. More than 6 to 8 hours a day, we stay anxious. It can affect our sleep pattern. It goes on for a long time, more than 6 months. It stops us from doing things that we are supposed to do in a normal manner. And that's when anxiety can become a problem. But anxiety always harmful? Can there be life without anxiety? Not really. Some anxiety will inevitably rise in the course of our daily life, and it is normal because we are scheduled, we are in a particular time cycle. Sometimes they even act as motivation. If you notice this graph here, we have performance on one side and we have anxiety on the other. If we are too relaxed, not sufficiently motivated, then possibly the performance is going to be low. But as the anxiety level grows into us, what happens is our hormones start getting activated, the metabolism increases, the blood circulation increases, the heart starts pumping more blood, and that energizes the brain because more oxygen is reaching the brain. So we are getting there and our performance is increasing. And then at a particular level, we have peak performance. But if we overthink, if we become over anxious, once again, the performance will go down. And there may be a time that we are so anxious that we may just freeze and we can't even focus on the task. Now, is this specific point at which arousal and maximum performance takes place? It is something which can be built up by practice on a day to day basis. It is a skill which you can build up, it is a resilience which you can build up over a period of time. So it can be something which can be built up. What are the types of anxiety? There is this generalized anxiety disorder. It is mostly defined by a propensity to be extremely stressed with little or no provocation. Then you have people who have this or obsessive compulsive disorder. It is defined by a pattern of recurring thoughts or urges. These are compulsions to do things. Example is to having to turn off the lights or wash your hands repeatedly every time you go out or you enter a room. There can be panic disorders, a panic attack in unexpected episodes of heightened fear. It could lead to chest pains, palpitation, even shortness of breath, sometimes dizziness. These are episodes which take place in nature. Then there can be post-traumatic stress disorder. This is mostly there in war veterans, people who have come back from war, or anybody who has gone through a extremely traumatic experience in one's life. It can be a result of abuse in early childhood, whether the abuse is verbal or physical or any other type of traumatic event. There can also be anxiety because of social phobia or a social anxiety disorder. It is characterized by our fear of interacting with others in the social environment. Public speaking, general socializing, or one on one conversations may sometimes scare us. What are the indications? Very similar. Edginess, you could be restless, you could be nervous, feeling of danger, some panic or even dread, very scared of something. Tiring easily, the stamina is not there, very fatigued, hyperventilation, higher rate of breathing, impaired concentration, focus on feeling as though the mind has gone blank, irritability, very high levels of irritability. Irritability could take place over the smallest of things. Increased muscle aches, increased sweating, rapid heart rate, trembling or chills, difficulty in sleeping due to trouble in falling sleeping or staying awake, moods or eating disorders. There could be also cognitive disorders where you can't think straight, where you may not be able to do even the small tasks of thinking. And there could be stomach troubles, gastro troubles, intestinal troubles also. Self sabotaging behavior is something which you could start doing, such as procrastination. You just don't get up to do something, you just postpone it. They can be perceived as struggling with self regulation and other behavior conditions. So, what are the effects of anxiety? Very similar to the symptoms. You may tend to freeze because of fear. There may be restlessness, and your focus from work or home or even enjoyment may go off. You may find it very hard to fall asleep or to stay asleep. You may get irritated very easily, because of which you are not calm and all the time you are arguing with people or struggling or not able to maintain relationships. In social situations, difficulty hard to talk to others. You might feel that you are being constantly judged, so you're always on your guard. Is my hairstyle okay? Are my clothes okay? I am being judged. They're looking at me and I feel anxious about it. Symptoms such as stuttering, heavy sweating, blushing, or even an upset stomach. And then you may have difficulty in forming relationships. How do we handle anxiety? Now, this is where I wanted to focus today. How do we handle this anxiety? Please understand, the first step to handling anxiety is to acknowledge and accept that this is happening. Everyone, please understand, everyone has anxiety at some stage or the other. Situations may vary. Don't compare yourself with others' situations or others with you. Having anxiety does not mean that you are a weak person. It is okay to have anxiety. It's okay to have anxiety at times. All we have to do is learn how to deal with that. Please remember, it's not your fault if you are anxious. And remember, you are going to be okay. Another way of handling anxiety is to write down your thoughts. What happens is, when it is in the brain, it keeps going cycles and cycles and cycles, going round and round and round. But when you write it down, it gets it out of your head and can sometimes then look less daunting. Yeah, you may write a page, 2 pages, 10 pages, 20 pages, but still your whole brain is not filled with it. Fill in the blank. I was anxious because, so to start with this small simple sentence. I was anxious today because what? Because of what? What made you anxious? Or it may not be one thing, it may be more than one thing. But starting like that, start writing down your thoughts. Handling anxiety, many times what happens is we are anxious because we love others, we love our friends, we love our parents, we love our brothers, sisters, but we forget to love ourselves. And whenever we are trying to focus on ourselves and focus and look after ourselves or do some self care or some self enjoyment, something has been focused into our head to say, oh, that is selfishness. You should do things for others. You should never do things for yourself. That's what is focused in your head. We never forgive ourselves. We are very unforgiving. We may forgive others, but we are very, very unforgiving. And we don't wait to worry. The event is after 15 days, after a month, day after tomorrow, but we start worrying today. And when we know that nothing can happen by our worry, we have already set the things into motion. Action can only take place on that particular day, but we start worrying. Remember, we are also like those cell phones that we use and the computers that we use. We never let our battery run down. We always carry our charger with us. And we put the battery on charge, or if required in other types of cells, we replace the battery. But what happens when our battery is down? Our internal battery is down. So self care is necessary. We need to charge ourselves. It has to be a priority. It is not a luxury. We must take care of ourselves. A low battery will be a cause of concern. Find out what is draining you and then cut that out, switch that off, and recharge yourself. Find purpose in life. A lot of people say, I want to know what is my purpose in life, why I have been born, what is the reason that I've been born, who am I actually? These are hypothetical questions. Many people have been trying to find the reasons for these questions for long time, but they have not found. My suggestion to you is accept the fact that you have a purpose. Do what you are supposed to do, and that is your purpose. Now you can also add on to a purpose which you see around you. Help others. You really don't need money to help others. You need an intention to help others. Help others. Volunteer for social work. Take an old person, make them across the street. Help somebody to do something, carry their things to their house. The strongest people make time to help others, even if they themselves are struggling with problems. Just because you are struggling with problems does not mean that you cannot help others. So go out and help others. The next way is identify and manage your triggers. What triggers this anxiety that you have? Know what you can control and what you cannot control. There may be many things which you can control, and there may be many things which you cannot control. So what you can control, set that correct. What you cannot control, don't try to fight it. What people are saying about you, how they look at you, how they behave with you, you cannot control that. What you can control is how you look at yourself, how you dress up, how you behave with other people. That's what something you can control. Or some of the triggers could be a stressful job. Most jobs are stressful. I've rarely come across somebody who has a job which is not stressful. If you have to do a job well, there is bound to be a certain amount of stress because that helps you to improve performance. The work environment, driving, even traveling, withdrawal from drugs, a trauma, fear to lose a close one because of the environment that is prevailing around us, relationships, financial, even loneliness could be a cause of anxiety. There may be many others. Another way of handling anxiety, it has been statistically proved that exercise improves your state of mind. improves your health and mental state. Getting active releases endorphins in your brain. Exercise can be the key anti-anxiety treatment. It is the most potent and underutilized antidepressant. And remember, it's free. You can run, you can walk, you can swim, you can do yoga, you can do cycling. Any form of exercise is fine. Handling anxiety again, go out into nature. Being in nature has once again, like exercise, proven to improve your mental health, mental state tremendously. Nature, once again, is a great healer. It gives positively and receive that positivity. Be in awe of nature. That helps you to get back to your emotional stability. Don't overthink. Do it. It is not needed for you to be perfect. Just do your best. We try to say, I'm practicing, I will not do it because I need it to be perfect. It doesn't have to be perfect. Just go ahead and do it. Do your best. Take the leap of faith. Don't overthink. Just do it. Procrastination causes the maximum amount of anxiety. Build a support system. A support system is necessary for all of us. You have people who care about you and want the best for you. Reach out and talk to them. Don't close up. Talk to others. Breaking the stigma around mental illness and recovery is something as simple as one honest and valuable conversation. Have a conversation. Create a share with others. Open up. Talk. People are not judging you. There are people available around you who are willing to sit down and listen to you. So talk to them. So, in summary, let me talk about what is anxiety. Anxiety is an umbrella term, and everybody gets anxious at times. Remember this, everybody gets anxious at some time or the other. Some anxiety in the course of daily life is normal. It may be also a motivator, helps you to perform better. There are many types of anxiety: general anxiety, OCD, obsessive compulsive disorder, panic attacks, PTSD, uh, social anxiety. What are the signs? Sleeplessness, high heart rate, social avoidance, procrastination, mood or eating disorders, loss of focus, or irritability. How do we handle anxiety? Accept it. Write down. Love yourself, self care, and take yourself and postpone the worry. Don't start worrying just now. Find purpose in helping others. Identify and manage the triggers. Go out and exercise. Go out into nature. Do it now. Don't think too much. You don't have to be perfect. Create a social or a support network. Talk to your friends. Talk to somebody. And if not possible, ask for help. There is no harm in asking for help. All of us at some stage or the other in our life have needed help. So there is no harm in us going out and asking for help. Please understand, anxiety is a very important thing. It can make us totally ineffective in what we do. It can also lead to physical health problems. So handle your anxiety. And the easiest way to handle your anxiety is go out, talk to somebody, let them know what you are going through. If you have any issues, if you have any questions, please write to me at ashwinibhaku@gmail.com, or you can even send me a message on 9922940308. Thank you very much, and I wish you all the best and take care.